to the Barely Living Dread Girls podcast, where we like to get high and talk about horror movies. I'm Casey.
I'm Jess, and this week we have a very special guest. You might have heard her voice on our show, but this is your first time seeing her. This is Katy.
Hey, I'm back and I'm very nervous about being immortalized on YouTube forever. So.
Forever and
ever
and
ever.
Once it's on the internet, it's just there forever.
If it helps you, Katy, when we first started filming, Casey knows I was just like... I was also really stoned at that time of my life, so I was just like... Oh, yeah, and then...
Is it my turn? So, if you all have been with us for a while, and you have listened to the Funny Games episode, our lovely guest, Katy, showed us both that movie. She knows some fucked up shit. This movie, Tusk...
I love Tusk.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
It's so good.
You have quite the record.
I don't know. I mean, what can I say?
Of shitty great movies. Movies that most people haven't heard of and are just, like, balls to the wall. But, like, all three of those have stacked casts.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
They're like little diamonds in the rough, you know?
This is rough.
It's pretty rough.
This is a rough diamond.
That's fair. It's very rough.
But
I think it's
shiny.
more like Swarovski.
Swarovski crystal.
Yeah. Not quite diamond, but, like, still shines.
A crystal in the sand.
Yes.
Yeah. Some rhinestones on something.
It might be a piece of glass. I don't know. It was shiny when I saw it.
Okay, raccoon.
Oh my god.
Shiny.
I really am like a raccoon.
And that's how we lost Jess to a big white fan. So anyway, I don't even know if we've announced the movie this week. We're doing...
No, we haven't.
Jess, would you like to tell us?
We are doing Midnight Meat Train.
The Midnight Meat Train.
From 2008, which we all know, the 2000s... Not the early 2000s were not the best time for horror movies. This is one of the better ones, though.
But it stinks of 2008.
It has such 2008 energy.
It reeks of 2008. I mean, the first thing you see, it is so green, I thought I was in a Saw movie. I was like, where's Darren Lynn Bousman directing? I can't, like...
That was the first thing I wrote down is, why is it so green? Why is everything so green right now?
So, this movie is based off of a short story by Clive Barker. I did not read it, but Katy did. She'll be able to give us little insights.
I read it at work today on my phone.
And again, if the name Clive Barker sounds familiar, it's because motherfucker wrote The Hellbound Heart, which turned into Hellraiser. And then he also wrote the short story that turned into Candyman. I mean, this man is...
No big deal.
Amazing. And then there's this. You know those two classics I just named that are gothic, romance, beautiful, just dark symphonies? Yeah, this is not that.
Well, I also read today when my coworker and I were looking up like fun facts about this movie that originally this was supposed to be the sequel to Candyman. Yes.
What?
Yes. I know. I didn't say it. I there's hooks, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to find the connection.
Oh my god.
Chuds, bees, slavery. Yeah, I can't.
No.
It's not connecting for me.
Nope.
Not ringing any bells.
If we need to like investigate the Internet Movie Database, we can. I don't have the. You can't. I don't have the energy.
I was gonna say I can jump to some conclusions, but I can't leap that far.
I just thought it was a fun fact, hence why I said it was.
That's like that fun fact where in Pet Sematary, the rat that got dropped into that bathtub, it was fake.
Not a real rat.
It's not a real rat.
I was shooketh.
Good to know.
I thought it was real.
So for those of you, which I'm sure is probably a vast majority of you, because I'm deep in the horror game, like deep within this genre, I love it. I'd never even heard of this movie. Had never even... she said it and I was like, the what? The what did you just fucking say? Did not expect it to have this cast. Did not expect it to be from 2008. I expected it to be some 70s half porno crap. I kind of wish that would be great too. But, so if you're like most people, you've probably never heard of this. Bradley Cooper Bradley Cooper.
Little
like,
baby.
right when
Bradley
he was,
Cooper.
like, getting to be, like, oh, shit, it's Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Bibb, who, love her, she's hysterical. All I can think of is her in movie 43. Do you know what it's like to go to Planned Parenthood when you're Wonder Woman?
I honestly don't know if I've even seen her do any. That's the only thing I've seen
She's
her
in
in.
quite
I'm
a
pretty
bit,
sure.
but but yeah, and then it's such a good movie. It really is. It's got Ted Raimi. I mean, the cast.
I thought that was so fun.
I saw it. I was like, is that Sam? It's one of the Raimi. That's Ted Raimi.
I know, it took me a second. I'm like, Sam.
I literally, they look so similar. But yeah, I was like, that's a Raimi. That's why the. And it's such a small role.
Ted Raimi also is. He is one of the stars in one of the horror games I love called The Quarry.
Oh, nice! I've heard about The Quarry.
Yeah,
is it good?
it's amazing.
Because I have it on my wish list. I need to play it.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah.
But I had another fun fact. I can't remember what the actor's name that is the butcher.
Yeah, I don't know him.
He's a British actor though, and he used to be a professional soccer player.
Hell yeah.
And this is all information from Derek. Derek, I'm sure you're not watching this, but thank you for all your random fucking knowledge that will never be important any other time in your life.
But it's so perfect
But it's perfect right now. He's like, oh yeah, that guy got like one of the quickest like red flags, like as soon as like the whistle blew, like I don't know how soccer works.
Yeah.
But like he just like fucking elbowed this dude in the face. Oh no, he headbutted him. I'm sorry, he headbutted this dude in the face on the soccer field.
Jeez.
Immediately?
Yeah. Just
For
yeah.
why?
I don't know. Have you seen that man? He's huge.
He fucking felt like
he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
The whole
I
time
don't know how soccer works.
I don't either, but
You're not allowed
either
to do
way,
that.
I don't feel
I
like
know
that's
how
how it
headbutting
works.
works, and that's what he did.
The whole time I was watching this, I was thinking, you know who also could play this really well? Batista.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor. I honestly love him, and I haven't even seen Guardians of the Galaxy because I don't do superhero stuff, and I fucking hate Chris Pratt. But Batista is great. Everything I've seen him in, Knock at the Cabin.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's
He
good.
plays
The Night
this
Shyamalan?
gentle giant, like it's incredible. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
honestly, I think he's great. I think he could do like if they ever remade this movie for.
Whatever
fucking reason. I mean, they remade
Candyman.
Psycho, okay?
Candyman on the meat train.
Yes. Then I could definitely see
I
Batista
cannot.
playing the butcher. So, yes, my first note is So Green, and then I just wrote Saw 2004. Because that's what it feels like I'm watching.
100%.
And if you've seen Saw, you know what I'm talking about.
I said, of course the lights are flickering.
Because of course they are.
Because of course they are.
And it's very. There are like, I guess with maybe the flickering lights, it almost gave me the impression that it was like gonna be supernatural. But then so much of the movie is so grounded, and then there's the ending.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it, folks, yet. But like Katy said to me, you won't guess how this ends. I promise. You don't know where it's going.
It's been so long, I forgot how it ended. Because Katy and I watched this when we were in high school.
So long ago.
Yeah.
Did
How
you?
the fuck did you guys find this?
I don't remember. I feel like we were like on FearNet or like something,
Yeah,
and we
I
stumbled
mean,
upon it.
Back in the day, before like streaming, like you
And before
had to
we-
find movies
You
like
could-
a peasant.
Katy.
But
And,
you could Google them and find them on
yeah,
shitty
and
sites,
then just like
and then
pull it up that way.
they would
I'm
buffer
sure
for,
that's
like,
how we
4
watched
hours.
it.
And do you remember we would watch, like, we would go to, like, ghostvideos.vs or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
and just watch all those fucking ghost videos?
And get terrified.
We were so scared.
Oh my god. it
We
was
were in,
horrible.
like, the downstairs of my apartment, like, with my grandma upstairs in her bedroom hanging out, and we were just like, ah!
like crying.
Yeah, I think we did cry a few times.
I 100% did.
And we used to have a Tumblr page dedicated to all our quotes.
And we would get on Stickam and
With our
underage
Stickam friends.
drink in your garage, and sometimes your
Yep.
mams would bring us like desserts.
That was always pretty tight.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Love-
Good old days.
Love mams.
I wasn't there for that. I met them after.
That was pre-KC.
BC. Before
It's
Casey.
still it's still BC. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I love
There
that.
you
I am Christ.
Anyway, sorry, we're doing a lot of... Yeah.
So anyway, we are on a subway. I think that's what they're called, the underground ones in New York.
We don't have very good public transportation here.
Those underground ones.
Well, there's like
sorry.
the subway, and then there's the...
Light rail?
No, you know what? We're going to say subway.
I don't even know what that is.
We're on a subway late at night, and a guy wakes up, and then there's blood everywhere. It feels like a saw trap. It feels like he wakes up in a saw trap. And then
Blood everywhere.
And then he slips in some blood, and then what happens?
He gets, I don't think anything happens. I think it's just this guy slipping in the blood.
Oh, okay. That's
I
fair.
think you're right.
And then we just cut to basically Bradley Cooper and his life. That's just like our creepy like opening scene of like someone struggling in the blood. And
Yeah.
It's mysterious.
Yeah, and Bradley Cooper in this movie is a photographer.
Not a good one.
Like Nightcrawler.
Struggling. Yeah.
If you saw Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that was good.
Such a good movie.
Yeah,
But he photographs like tragedies and crime scenes and crimes taking place.
Mm-hmm. Basically the reality of the city.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend,
I
Maya.
put wife/girl. I don't know. I
'Cause
didn't really
and he
say.
gave her,
It
like, a
seemed
pre-engage-
girl. Yeah.
But
Oh no! So yeah, then they.
what's
can't
his
be-
face? Later, their friend referred to her as his wife.
Yeah.
But then he gave her a pre-engagement
It was
engagement ring.
confusing.
Who wrote this?
Who wrote this? I did look it up. I can't remember their name.
Nobody that matters.
yeah.
That's
they
who.
didn't
I'm just
write
kidding.
anything else either. So, oh yeah, Brooke Shields is in this movie.
Brooke
Yeah, she
fucking
is.
Shields.
Fuck. She's some art person, and he's trying to sell his art stuff to her.
She's like sexy and she's like sultry and vapid.
Oh,
I mean,
for
she's
sure.
Brooke Shields.
Very, very art school. Like reminded me of a lot of
High
art
art.
professors. Yes.
Reminded me why I dropped out.
100%. Definitely. But I liked her though. I
Yeah.
wanted her to like me.
Yeah, I was like, would you like my stuff?
I was like, dang, okay, Brooke Shields.
But his girlfriend Maya essentially got him a meeting with her to talk about an upcoming show to get his stuff potentially in the gallery. And she's like, I want more like raw emotions like in your work. I want more like, like she's like, it's a little flat.
This isn't
Yeah.
cutting it.
Yeah.
Need more excitement.
It's edgy, but it's not edgy enough, basically.
She's like, when you want to stop shooting, like keep shooting. Like when you want to leave, keep shooting.
Yeah.
So he goes to the subway.
Stay put, be brave, keep shooting.
Yes.
At some point, the guy from Hostel 2
That's exactly
also
what
comes
I
in.
said.
I was like, oh my god, there's so many people in this.
I was
I
like,
don't know
he's
that guy's
the-
name, but
I
he's
don't
the guy
either.
from Hostel 2 that gets his
Dick chopped off.
dick and balls.
And balls. And
Have you seen
Dick
Hostel
and
2?
balls, probably.
Oh, it's better than the first one.
I don't think
It's
I've seen the
so
first one.
good. Oh,
I'm so
first
sorry.
one's so good.
I'm so sorry.
And you're kind of a gorehound too, so
I
I'm
am.
surprised.
I just haven't.
We should watch it together sometime. We plan on covering 1, 2, and 3 in an episode together.
Well, there
so,
you go.
Yeah. She's not okay about it.
I'm so sorry.
3's just okay.
You've seen this, but not Hostel?
Not on purpose. Like, it just happened,
It's very purposeful. What do you mean?
It just happened. I don't...
My next note says the shadows in this movie are terrible. You can't see shit. Everything is
Very
so dark.
dark.
It's so
It
dark.
is shot terribly. Oh my god, first of all, it's a point and shoot movie for sure. Not one good shot in the whole thing.
No.
Or interesting shot. And then on top of it, all the shadows and the lighting are just, oh my god, this was crap. This is a crap movie, and I love it.
All the talk in the
Yeah.
movie about interesting angles and
Oh my God, I
everything
know.
and the
You're
way to
following a
shoot things,
photographer.
and it's like we're gonna put none of that in the actual movie.
But if we're being honest, and Katy and I had this discussion during the movie, is it that he's a good photographer, or is it that he is capturing interesting things? Because his photos are crap. You know what I mean? They're not good photos. He's not doing the work. He's just putting himself in danger
It's more so
to
content.
take a
Mhm,
photo
for
that has
sure.
interesting content. He's not. That's not what I think of when I think of a photographer. Typically, they're doing the work to make the photo look the way it is.
Mhm.
And so I think that's kind of a shows something about the movie. Like, it's almost like it was shot by him because
By
it's
him.
like he doesn't.
It's
It's
lame.
just the content. It's all like this movie is only content.
And like Katie and I spent years hearing over and over again. It's it's about your concept, but also execution and technicality.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there were definitely times in this movie I was cringing. And I was like,
for sure.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we didn't spend years in the dark room crying for this.
For them to overhype it the way that they do, where they're like,
I'm like, that's overexposed.
My God, this is beautiful. And everybody's
I've never
just
seen
like,
anything like it.
and I'm like, they're all blurry. Like, I get that it's an action photo, but it looks like shit. Okay. But I get it. It's a movie.
Right. We're overanalyzing that part.
But who
As
cares?
we do.
Well, I was going to say, we got 2 art students here who are photographers. They're going to talk some
I'm
shit.
overanalyzing it.
So we get we keep getting weird dream scenes of Bradley Cooper's that look like Saw cut scenes. And it's dumb and makes no sense because why is he having visions at the end of this movie if he doesn't know how it ends?
That's true.
Great question. But
That's a good point.
after he gets
2 good points.
after he gets this criticism from Brooke Shields' character, he goes into the city basically like looking for trouble and things to shoot, and he goes down to the subway.
You look around New York at night long enough, you'll probably see a crime.
Yeah, and that's what he saw. He saw this poor young, we find out, model being assaulted by these 3 men.
Jeez, baby.
Hey!
What the fuck you gonna do, bitch?
Just come up here and find out.
What?
And he starts taking their picture, and then they come up to,
Beat him.
and he's like,
They're gonna
points
beat
to
his
the
ass.
camera
For sure.
right next to him, like a video
CCTV,
camera,
yeah.
and they're like, he's like, well, how'd you like to star in a movie?
I said, does he think CCTV is going to save him? Oh, shit, it did. Because I just thought the gangbanger, because I assumed it was 3 gangbangers. That's what it, looked like.
Right.
And he, walks up to him and, Bradley Cooper, points at the camera. He's like, you're right there. And I'm like, do you think he cares? He was just assaulting someone in front of it.
Right.
Sure, he knows that camera's there. He lives here.
Also, too, another thing that kind of annoyed me was the fact that as the guy was, brushing past Bradley Cooper's shoulder, he's like, you're a dead motherfucker. Nothing else came of that.
Nothing.
I thought that they were going to come, a reprise of those characters. He could have just said nothing.
Even if,
Bumped
they
his
were
shoulder.
trying to, find him later and they got killed by the butcher and that was it, that could have given us some more cool kills.
Yeah, but nothing.
But
They just
nothing.
did.
It's literally just a MacGuffin to get the model involved so that he has the pictures so that he investigates.
Right.
And also, she kisses him after he saves her.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was
I wrote down she gave him a little smooch. I was like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, that's
And he was
definitely what you do after
smiling.
you
She
get
just, I
sexually
was going to say,
assaulted.
she was just almost murdered, and then she's, kissing this random strange man on the mouth. And it's like, he did save her, but not really in a heroic way or anything.
Oh, and
You know
that's
what
the
I
fucked
mean?
up part is because he just was taking pictures.
Right.
When they looked over at him and noticed he was there, he was like, hey, leave her
Right.
alone.
But he wasn't, going with the
Literally,
intention to help.
I swear to God,
was
he did a
just
Gene
doing it for
Wilder.
himself.
No, don't.
No,
Stop.
Stop, please.
Literally, that's what he pulled. Because he wanted the pictures.
Right.
Because,
Absolutely. He was just trying to involve himself in
Yeah.
the situation.
And then once he
basically.
realized,
And
he's like,
then
oh shit, now I
ended
have
up
to.
saving her,
Yeah.
as part of that, so I don't know.
If that camera wouldn't have been there, there would have been some bad things that happened.
Oh, they were
for
both
sure.
dead for sure.
Absolutely.
But then that leaves the butcher. Oh, I wonder if they would have killed those 2 if they would have ended up as the butcher's next target.
I bet you're right.
But he does tend to go. No, he doesn't even go after singles because he does go after when Ted Raimi's with somebody. He's with 2 other people.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care if you're alone. It's just if you're on that train at that time.
It's funny.
Because, he knows he can get away with it.
Because the
it's,
conductor's in
yeah,
on
and
it,
it's the midnight meat train. But in the short story, he does, they talk about more about how he's trying to pick people who are, healthy, basically, and,
Yeah.
in shape. He doesn't,
Yeah.
because, he wants it to be, good specimens.
Right, yeah.
Or whatever. So
the
I guess
meat,
really
you know.
his only, that's really all you need.
Yep.
As long as you're not, overold and, overweight, you're pretty
My
much,
family's
right.
always been in meat.
Yeah.
So
Meat.
he saves this model, and she immediately gets on the subway and gets a meat cleaver to the face.
To the face, fully...
By God!
head 100% spins around on her
The
shoulders.
fakest, cartooniest thing
Oh,
I've ever
love
seen.
it,
I
though.
loved it.
It was so good.
I
I love
loved
a
it.
head spin.
Cartoon blood, I can almost count the pixels in,
Literally.
and I am living. I don't care, man. Normally I hate CG, but if you're
It's
gonna go
good.
that bad, I'm here for it. Because I know you had no budget.
None.
None budget.
I don't
It's
know how they had
obvious.
Bradley Cooper and Brooke Shields' budget, honestly.
I think it was
That's a
because it
good
was
point.
before Bradley Cooper got to the really big point, because it was before he did, or right around the time he did The Hangover, but
Mhm.
not when he was super, super big. And it was, I mean, Brooke Shields is a 90s actress, so 2008 you probably could get her for not that much.
That's true.
Especially with her being a tertiary character.
Yeah. Well, also, like, when she was going to get on the train, you see this hand come out with this ring with this weird symbol on it to catch the door for her, and that comes back to be important
He,
later.
is taking more pictures of the model. She, looks at him right before she gets on the train. So he has the picture of the guy, holding the door open.
Just
she
the
gets
hand.
Just the
yeah.
hand,
Just the
yeah.
fist.
Yeah. So, she did.
And then he takes the pictures to the police after he develops them, and they're like...
And first, when he has the pictures hung up in the apartment of this woman being sexually assaulted by 3 men, Leslie Bibb is just like, oh, that's a cool shot.
Oh, yeah, I wrote down she's supportive.
She's not even kind of concerned.
No, he's, showing her these pictures, this is what I did for my art, and she's like, oh, looks good. Excuse you? She didn't once ask, well, what happened to this girl? Who is this? Where were you?
I was
She
literally
had
that
no
mean.
questions.
Did you guys kiss?
Did she kiss you on the mouth?
Right.
I don't
after
know
you
why. I
fake-ass
can just
saved her?
tell.
I was literally that meme, just that.
That's true. I forgot about that part.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, he does take them to the police, as Jess was
And
saying.
I love that the police immediately are like, are you stalking this woman?
Which
Which, fair, because he just, comes in,
stranger with
here,
photos.
yeah,
she's
here are these
missing.
pictures. That
Yeah.
and she's just like,
Because
I
all
don't
these
know
people
about this.
that he starts investigating, they're missing. They are missing people. These are not bodies that they're finding. That's very important.
Yep.
No bodies.
No bodies.
Nobody like me. Nobody. Nobody. So anyway,
I don't know that song.
so then, oh man, it's good. So we are back on the midnight meat train.
Yeah, we are.
Which is what my boyfriend gives me every night. Oh, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'll probably delete it.
I'm
Anyway,
lonely.
Cut that. Cut that.
cut that. Jen.
Cut that.
So then we're on the meat train with Ted Raimi, and Ted Raimi gets his eye popped out with a meat cleaver. How do you do that, Jess? How do you pop out an eye with a meat cleaver?
You hit him really hard.
Just the eye, though, and only one of them.
And only one.
Just
I don't know. Is this a trick question?
no.
Yes.
There's no wrong answer.
I felt judged.
I just wanted to know if you knew.
Judgment-free zone.
And then someone's head comes off. I wrote, her fucking head came off.
I said, is that possible?
Literally,
I didn't think twice about the eyeball, but the head, I was like,
I don't know.
it
about
took me
that.
back to Jason in New York.
You knocked his block off.
Oh, it's so bad, but so
Yeah,
good.
So good. Yeah, when he just...
Another
Well,
head
that
gets
also-
knocked off.
That also happens in Killer Clowns. Feels
Yep.
more at home in that movie.
Yeah.
You knocked his block. What happened? What'd you say?
Another head is knocked off.
Yeah.
And then it rolls off.
It does. It does.
It rolls away, and you have a POV shot as the head
I take that.
as it
Oh, yeah.
rolls away,
Covered.
which I kind of love.
I meant my previous statement saying there are no cool shots in this movie. There's one, and it's when
I mean, cool,
when
but
you are the head that then rolls away,
And
It
you're
is
just like,
pretty
doof,
funny.
doof, doof,
and you're
doof.
just the head looking up at this guy, and then you're,
Gave me a giggle.
yeah, and then you're looking at the head. Yes, I do amend the previous statement. That is a pretty cool shot. I liked that. So after he does those murders, then he's coming up off the escalator, and Bradley Cooper starts taking his picture. And I thought he was gonna beat this guy's ass. I would have beat this guy's ass for taking my picture.
He
I'd
freezes.
snatch that camera.
He kind of
Yeah.
freezes, and you think
The
he's
anticipation.
gonna square up.
I
But
wonder what he was thinking.
it's probably why is this weird little bitch following me?
I wonder if he's thinking does he know? Should I feed him to the thing? Sorry. So,
Thing.
the thing.
Well,
Yeah.
he follows him even after the dude's like didn't say anything, but like, you know, put him up against like the wall, and he's like, I just want you to take your picture, man. And he like shoves him and like walks away. He still follows him.
Oh, for sure.
And he goes into this hotel called Hotel Barclay.
He ends up seeing the ring in the photo.
Yep.
He's looking through the photos that he took that day. He sees the ring on his hand and it's like, that's the same ring I had seen, you know, earlier in the picture with the girl. And so then he's like full on like stalking this guy at that point, basically like starts kind of becoming obsessed.
Does he go back to the police?
He
does later.
Yeah.
But as... And I don't think that they believe him really then.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
I was like, why doesn't it go to the police?
I mean, they made it seem like he was like,
A suspect.
Yeah, a suspect.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we find
so
out
maybe
later.
he felt kind of weird about it.
And the middle of this movie is very much kind of jump back and forth between Bradley Cooper investigating randomly, and then we're on the meat train. Bradley Cooper investigating, back on the meat train. So he's taking pictures. He sees the guy sit at the subway station for like hours.
Doesn't move,
just
doesn't
sits.
blink. It's so creepy.
It's so creepy. And you see all the people passing by him, and then eventually he gets on, you know, one of the late night. It's, what is it, 2:08?
The midnight meat train.
It's not at midnight.
It's not midnight.
No,
I wrote
it's
that down
not.
too. I'm like, why does it say midnight?
I know, it's not midnight. It's past midnight.
I thought I wrote the time.
What was like 2:00
I thought
something,
it was
and then there
2:08,
was
I
another
think.
one too that was like 3.
Yeah, I think so. So
So
we are
don't
back on the
think
midnight
that.
meat train. The 2:08 meat train. The 2:08 to Chudtown. And so whenever this starts to happen, whenever the guy starts to go after one of his victims, the train, I don't know if we mentioned this, starts, or subway or whatever, starts to speed up really, really fast, and it's like passing by all
Like
the
super, like not, like faster than it should ever go.
way
in real
faster.
life.
Like it's going, like it's speeding, and it's passing by all the other exits and stuff. And so
Goes down this like
there's like no way they
hidden-
can emergency brake or anything like that. And so, the butcher stands up and he starts like beating this guy, and they get into a fight, and the other guy gets the upper hand and starts wailing on the butcher.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, and then he like gets away, which is crazy for this point in a movie. You're like, you're not supposed to get away right now.
hmm
And then what happens?
I'm gonna hammer of your ass!
The conductor comes out, fucking shoots him in the face.
That bitch is in on it.
He gets all the way to the conductor's area and is like
and
pounding
you
on the door,
think
like,
you're like,
let me in.
he's gonna get saved. Like this is gonna be fine.
I assumed the butcher would just kill him and the conductor.
And the conductor. I guess that's true that they're both fucked.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was
Which
like,
is fair.
there's no way that the conductor doesn't know. Why is the conductor speeding past all these exits?
Right.
Why
Yeah,
is the
I guess
conductor
that's
like
true.
not going out when he hears people screaming? Like, how does he not notice these things are happening on his train? You know?
are the conductor.
Ah,
You've always been the
ah.
conductor. And then we learn his name is Mahogany.
Mahogany, which is cute. What's wrong? Is it not cute?
No. His name is Mahogany.
That would be a cute little name. What should he be named? Frank?
That'd be better.
Would it be?
I think he needs like a big like hefty name.
I
Mahogany
liked
is
that
like
it wasn't. Like something about that I thought was
Like,
cute.
tiny,
You know? Yeah, like it's kind of
being,
funny.
like, 7
it
feet
doesn't
tall.
fit him at all. It makes no sense. I don't know
so
why
we're looking at the
that.
irony here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just maybe I just don't like the word mahogany.
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 I think it's a fine word.
It's a normal word.
I don't like it. I don't like
I said I literally
Also-
wrote mahogany as a creepy name.
It is creepy. That's his name in the story too.
And so yeah, the train conductor is like, I'm really disappointed in you, Mahogany. You almost got your ass whooped.
you're getting old
Mm-hmm.
Getting old, getting too old for this shit.
for sure.
Isn't that what they say in Lethal Weapon?
Too old for this shit.
Getting too old for this shit.
That's
God,
what I
I
say
love
every
Katy Glover.
day when I get out of bed.
Too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Amen.
So then we get the worst scene in the movie.
The nipples.
No, that's like one of the best scenes.
That's a good scene. Aren't we at the nipples?
Well,
Because he's throwing up blood.
well,
The nipples,
before
that
that
makes
was
no
just, they
sense.
were in the
But
restaurant.
we refer to them as nipples.
They were definitely nipples.
We'll get to the nipples later.
They come to nothing, but we'll get to them. No, eventually they're in the restaurant.
And he gives her, like, he sneaks up on her while she's closing by herself.
Oh, yeah.
He gives her the ring, the pre-engagement ring, and then he gives her his dick.
First of all, I wrote down.
And
the
she,
fucking
like...
ring doesn't fit, and he sucks on her finger to get the ring to fit on her.
Who wrote this?
And I was just like, what?
It's really funny because I told Casey last week that when we were watching Gerald's game, I was watching it at work while I was doing laundry, and my coworker, like, was listening to it, and he's like, "Are you watching porn?" Literally, I was, like, finishing. I went to work early, and I started the movie at my house, and I was finishing on the patio today while I did more laundry, and he opened the door. He's like, "Hey, Jess." He's like, and I was like, it was right when this scene was happening.
Stop.
And I was like, I swear to God, I'm not watching porn. I was like, you always come in at the worst time.
Have you
The
seen
porn
Gerald's
times,
game?
I have not.
Okay, you have to watch it. But there's a scene at the end where she's like really fucking up her hand and she's like moaning because she's like, ah.
As you do, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, if you aren't watching it and you're just listening, you might think that's smacks.
It's fair.
So Derek, I swear, it wasn't porn either time.
It was this scene and it was weird.
I watched that at home. I don't watch that on the patio of my job.
I just hate that like
Not that
cliche
kind of kinky.
in movies. And I'm sorry if your boyfriend gives you this speech and you're over the age of 16, dump him. 'Cause
Dump
it's
him.
gross. The little engaged to be engaged.
Also, she did not look like she was enjoying it at the end. Like, he was like,
Oh, I also
Aggressively.
Yes, I wrote that down. I was like, her face was kind of like she did
Like,
not
what's
look
come
happy.
over him? This is not
she looked
something
kind
that
of
he's-
scared, like
Yeah.
kind of like worried. It's a whole thing.
It
I mean,
was
we
a whole thing.
see the subtle changes in, I like how his name is Leon, but I didn't
We
call
haven't
him
said
that.
his name yet.
No, I don't care. He's Bradley Cooper.
I don't even know Liz.
I literally started writing, like, BC. Oh, her name is Maya.
Maya.
They just said that a lot more.
Mia.
They just said that a lot more than his
That makes
name.
sense.
But
So yeah, no. After this, after that is the nipples because I wrote gross. Those are nipples. They're infected, but dude, no.
Yeah,
He's-
Mahogany is sick, I guess. And I want you to know that when I was going to read what
I want you to know.
I want you to know when I
She
was
doesn't
going
have that
to
many.
read the story today, I was hoping that like that would be explained more maybe in the story because like sometimes that happens like when it
Uh-huh.
translates to
Uh-huh.
a movie they have to kind of leave stuff out. No. There are no nipples. There's no mention in the story of him having any growths on his body whatsoever. So this is something that they just did. They just wanted to do. Like it came from nowhere. I don't
they
know.
look like holes to me, Casey.
I wonder if it was even in the script because there's no dialogue.
No.
It's one scene where
And they never mentioned
where
it.
Mahogany is standing in his bathroom. Like
Well,
in
she
front of
does like drop one of the jars later because she
Oh.
sees them,
And
but
she
it
gets
never
scared.
was. It
But they don't
never
say
was
like what
brought
is
up.
happening
Yeah.
with this. Like
He's got
why?
these little nipple growths all over his like torso area.
Every time we say
and
anything,
he's
it makes me
taking a
gag.
scalpel and like cutting them and
It's
putting
awful.
them in a jar.
Little jars. He has a million.
Let me know when we're
little
past
jars.
this scene.
So why? Why is he doing that? Why is he keeping them? Why is
I
he
can't
cutting
tell
them?
you.
Why are they growing? What are they? We don't get to know any of those things. We're done.
It's over. I'm proud of you.
Oh.
And then Bradley Cooper does the worst spying I've ever seen. it's
Super
I could do
spy.
better. Literally, I can just hear him in his head going. Like he walks into the meat plant, just puts on a like apron thingy.
Yeah.
The guy's already seen his face. He knows what he looks like. Has this big camera. Like you definitely bring that to work at the meat factory, and it's just like
Running
hiding
around,
behind a big
yeah.
pole, just like taking
Taking
photos.
pictures.
And you can tell, like, in your body, you can feel when people are watching you.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. And like, if anyone in the entire factory is walking anywhere around him, they're gonna be like,
Why is this guy
"The
taking
fuck
pictures?
is this guy
Yeah.
doing? Why is he
Who are
hiding in the
you?
middle of the factory behind
He doesn't
a
even
pole?"
go here.
Like the guy that saw him put the thing on, he was just like, Okay. Okay.
And I hate to say it, but like sometimes people get off the elevator on the second floor of my job and start walking toward the like non-patient areas, and I don't recognize them, and they're not in scrubs. And guess how much business I mind? My own. And I walk away. I never am the person that's like, hey, do you need something? I'm just like, you know where you're going. It's
No,
fine.
fair. They're fine. They got it. They would ask.
Well, homeboy saw him and starts chasing him through this meat cooler with all these swinging bodies of fucking cows.
It's disgusting. Like a nasty ass meat
It looks
chase
so
scene.
nasty. And we have a better meat chase scene in, I want to say the first I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
Because Jennifer Love
Yeah.
was like a longtime vegan. She hated doing that because she like hides.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first or the second one. I can't remember. And that meat, it looks like real meat. Like it's gross because it's raw, meat in a factory. But this looks disgusting.
It's awful.
This is not meat that I would want ever.
No, it looks real nasty. But, yeah, so Maya's pissed about
Well-
him. Oh, wait, go ahead.
So there's when is the part when I literally, for some reason, I wrote he's standing right behind me.
That is during that chase scene.
Yeah.
There's a part where he like kind of stands up and you can see the butcher in the
Yeah,
back
I
behind
literally
him.
wrote he's
And
standing
he's
right
just
behind
kind
me,
of, there's
isn't he?
that moment where he's just kind of like,
He like knows
Like
he's
he
there,
can
but
feel
doesn't turn
he's
around
there.
yet. Yeah.
but then he ends up jumping on a truck and like
Yes.
riding away and escaping.
I loved that. Oh yeah, because then I thought, what if the truck like pulls forward 6 feet and just
It
stops?
just stops. That's
like,
it.
oh, this is where I was going, and you're just like, oh
He's fucked.
shit.
Oh, and then he starts liking meat because he's vegan. Oh, we didn't say he's vegan.
Yes.
That's not
Yeah.
that important.
Yep,
but in
yep,
the beginning, like he's vegan. He brings tofu to the diner and like asks the diner guy to grill tofu for him. It's very strange. But after all of this like meat chasing shit happening,
He eats a
he's
steak.
now he eats it off his friend's plate, which is really weird. And
Don't
I know
touch my food.
you were
Ordered
mad
one.
about it. Like watching it, you were like, "Ew, what is he doing?"
Well, because then he like takes his finger and
and
like
like yes,
juice and, like,
he,
The juice is mine.
It's so weird. And the guy doesn't say anything to him about it. He lets him do it. He doesn't nothing.
He doesn't have balls anymore. That's why.
That's
It's very true. He deserved it.
Honestly, I was like, okay, is this gonna be important later? Never
it
was
really
important.
wasn't.
No, he ate a fucking piece of steak
That was
and
it.
licked his friend's plate, basically,
Yeah.
and that was...
That was it.
It made no sense, because
So
it's not
much.
like we saw the butcher ever eating meat.
It's like they tried to do so many different threads of like things that could happen, and then didn't connect any of them. And
No.
Oh,
They
let
just
him
all
in.
went...
Mhm.
17 roads to fucking nowhere.
yeah, 17 subways to nowhere.
Yeah.
um, so
He goes back to Maya.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's Charlie with the red string, basically,
yes,
explaining all of the things. He's like, this is what happens here, and it's this train, and then he gets on this, and then he does this.
She's like,
and she's like, you should not do night shoots anymore.
Leslie Bibb was, and I get it. I get why she was.
She's
'cause
like, I don't think that you should do this.
Why
this
would you-
doesn't seem healthy?
right? Like, why, as Leslie Bibb, as an actress, would she put her best into this movie? You wouldn't, but she is asleep at the wheel.
Oh, 100%.
I
my
love
God.
Leslie Bibb, but she is just
The acting
sleeping.
is so fucking stale from her. It's so stale.
I love her, but she didn't care about this script. It was a paycheck. She
For
needed
sure.
a wing on her house or something. I don't know. So there's this other really cringy, weird scene that comes out of
Oh,
nowhere.
God, I hate it.
Because then all of a sudden she like doesn't like what he takes pictures of, and so she
Take
starts
pictures of
undressing.
what you love. And he's like, you.
And he's,
I love you.
So he starts taking pictures of her undressing, but then he's crying.
It's so weird.
He's having, like, he keeps, like, seeing, like, visions when he looks through the, like, lens.
basically like all the gore that he's been seeing. Like,
And he, like, keeps
stalking
pulling
this
away and
guy
going like
and,
this. So, like, I would feel kind of bad if
Very
I was,
confused.
like...
I wrote, I'm very confused. It was during
And then
that
she's
scene.
like, she's getting really upset, but still taking her
I know
clothes
she's
off.
still doing it though.
And then she's, like, got her bra off, and she's like...
And then she just like runs into the room and slams the door, and I guess he sleeps on the couch. I'm assuming.
Girl.
I don't think he sleeps.
I
I
think
he
he
walks.
That's also fair.
I think that's part of the problem. So
He needs a nap.
yes.
And she needs to wake up.
Have you had a nap today? No. Maybe you need one. No, I don't. Sorry, that mean. It's 2:06 a.m. I wrote the time. Because somebody gets on the train at 2:06. Yeah. This is when he follows him onto the train and he's watching the murder happen, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I wrote, you're letting a murder happen. Oh my god, yeah, this is the really bad. This is when the gore gets really good.
Really
I
gory.
love it.
Oh, yeah.
So he follows the butcher on the train to take some pictures of him doing stuff. He's got all these bodies hung up like carcasses of meat.
Draining.
And like pulling their teeth
That's
out.
awful.
And their eyeballs.
I have more to say about that at the end. But what I was going to say is I loved, it was so fucking camp. These kids come around with chocolate. They're like, buy some chocolate. And he stood up like he was going to kill them and then like reaches into his scary mahogany bag, pulls out $1, gets chocolate bars.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I was like,
and then the kid just goes and then walks away. I was like,
hell yeah.
this is so camp. It needs to be mentioned.
I wish he would have been eating it while he was like doing his work.
That would have been perfect.
So good.
Oh, but yeah, and the fingernails. Ugh.
I wrote cool. He didn't even try to hide from this guy. Gets caught. Gets something carved into his chest.
It's weird sigil, like, I don't know.
Hey, guess what? That doesn't get explained either.
It doesn't. It's
If he's a chosen one, why?
Or whatever, yeah.
Why?
And how did he know ahead of time? Anyway, so,
And why didn't he die? Like, he hung him up.
right.
And he didn't die.
So and he's like fucked up, but he like is refusing, like, I don't know, he's talking to his friend and he's like, no, I don't need a hospital, blah, blah. And I'm like, none of what you're saying is telling me you don't need a hospital.
He 100%
You need a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
He was bleeding everywhere. He was insane.
Yeah, she kept trying to call the hospital, and he, like, smacked the phone out of her hand and threw her into the fridge. I'm like,
I said,
dump
sis,
his ass.
you need to get the fuck out of there.
I said he's acting scary. And his camera's gone. So he can't even show her the proof of what he's saying happened. So
oh, yeah.
that's worse.
Ugh, well,
Yeah, that's worse, right?
You know, that's
he's
worse.
like, I just need sleep. And she's like, don't do this to me. And
It's
I was
very
like,
dramatic.
ugh, okay. But her crazy ass and her friend, a.k.a. Hostile 2 guy,
Jurgis.
Jurgis.
That's his name. I wrote it down because it's a weird fucking name.
Jurgis, Mahogany,
Jurgis.
Maya, and what's his face? Leon. Those are fucking weird names.
Maya's kind of normal.
Maya's
That's
fine.
it.
But I mean, among the rest of the names,
yeah,
it's not.
absolutely.
But they go. She saw the picture of the hotel room or the hotel hanging up, and she gets him to go with her, and they go to his fucking room. Stupid.
They break in.
They break
They
in
break in.
to what they think
This
is
man's-
a serial killer butcher on a fucking
literally
train.
go to his house.
That seems like such a good idea. Nothing could go wrong.
And then, so, they come up with a plan that seems
fair.
fair. I'll go in and look for stuff. You stand at the door.
Jurgis is keeping watch.
If you see him, call for me. We're good.
Make a noise. Yeah.
So,
How
That's
long does
fine.
that last?
30 seconds. He abandons the plan and says, but what if he comes back? We need to both look.
So now nobody's keeping watch.
And you're both searching the apartment in case he
So it
comes
makes
back.
no sense.
That makes nonsense.
One of you is gonna die. Like, that's the formula.
One
there.
to two of you is about to die. One to both of you, and honestly, Leslie, babe, you don't have final girl material in you.
No. But she finds they find, like, a whole bunch of, like, knives, scalpels,
Jar
like,
nipples,
Jar of nipples.
several
like
jars
18
of nipples.
jars of...
And like train schedules
The
from
ol-
like
yeah.
1911, like 1950.
With specific
2
time
a.m.,
schedule.
3 a.m.,
Like
not
circles.
midnight,
Not midnight.
And then, so he gets Jargus.
It probably used to be the midnight train, like back in the days, like in the early 1900s, because people didn't stay out as late. And now the midnight train is like still fucking packed as hell.
For sure.
So they have to do the 3 a.m. train because there's just like less people.
Why are you justifying them naming this stuff?
Because I have a podcast where I sit and talk about this shit for an
I
hour.
have to justify it. It has to make sense.
It to me, it still does not. But
It's dumb and also catchy. So
yeah, it's better than 3 a.m. Meat Train.
The butcher shows up, and she runs, and she falls.
I said, of course you would fall, you dumb bitch.
Immediately. She doesn't make it 2 steps, and she falls. I'm like, there's nothing even... No obstacles. I don't know. Bitches be tripping.
But he got Jurgis.
As they say.
Zach in a horror movie immediately falls to the ground. Hostile guy gets cleavered.
Yep.
We love it. Just, yeah.
She goes to the police. The chick is gaslighting her again.
I cleavered her.
I'm dead.
R.I.P. Katy.
That was me being dead.
It was
Everyone, what the
really
fuck
good
is
acting.
happening?
It was better acting than Maya.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
And where's my award? And the Oscar goes to not Leslie Bibb.
Bradley
Oh my
Cooper
god!
either.
Oh my god! It's the line. So
No, the best line in the movie.
So we finally get to. We've been building up to this art show that he has been planning. He's been taking these photos for. And we get to the art show, and it's all these really shitty pictures that he's taken.
Not good.
Not good. But it's a really nice art show, and the lady Brooke Shields is taking him around like, hey, schmooze these people, they'll buy something. These people usually don't buy photography, but they'll buy something. Blah blah blah. And he isn't paying attention, and then he goes to leave. Because he sees a blown up version of the girl, the model girl, and he sees the guy's hand, and he sees the ring, and that's like in his mind. He's like, "There's my evidence. That's what 88 Casey Novak needs to put." Sorry, SVU reference. So he leaves the gallery, and as he's leaving, Brooke Shields goes, "Where are you going?" And he says,
I got a train to catch.
and that's when I knew I loved this
Dun
movie.
dun.
That was when I knew I loved this movie.
Mic drop.
I got a train to catch.
Is this like a fucking Western from the 50s?
It's so
Obsessed.
dumb.
Like-
Obsessed. That's when I knew this movie was infamy in my life.
Yeah.
There is another 206 train. I wrote it again. It's, I don't know. Anyway.
And we also find out at this point, like, that the cop isn't on it. And that's why she's basically been making them seem or feel guilty this whole time. She's like, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to, like, if you give him this book, the scheduling book back, like, we're not going to arrest you for breaking and entering. And it's like, lady, what?
This man is killing people.
Huh?
Like a lot of people.
But, I get it. In the
Yeah.
end, I get it.
For sure.
It gives me very Cabin in the Woods
I was
vibes.
just about to say Cabin in the Woods. Are you Marty and what's her name, or are you Sigourney Weaver? I'm Sigourney Weaver in that movie, for sure. I'm murdering everybody.
How dare they?
I am shooting you right in the face for the sake of the world. I'm sorry, Jess.
I didn't
I'll shoot myself, too. But, like, if it's you versus
You or
the
the
whole
world.
world, I might shoot you in the face.
Why
I'll
did you
then
even
shoot my
say
face.
that?
Because I was looking at your beautiful face.
And you thought about shooting it?
Well, we're talking about that scene.
I wouldn't shoot you, Jess.
She lying?
I would share
She
the joint
is
with you
lying.
while the world crumbled around us.
These bitches are fucking lying.
Fuck
Just
the
kidding. They
world.
might not be. They're a little suicidal.
Fuck it.
So,
See, it's like, I can do it to me, but you can't do it to me.
fair. Jess wouldn't make me go through that choice. That's the difference.
I would grab the guy and be
Jess
like, I
would
got
never make me make that decision. So anyway, he gets to the meat plant, and we have a gearing up montage, because that fits into this movie. Because we needed that for sure. With
A
like
chainmail apron.
Evil
Duh.
Dead 2 style, like, gearing up. I'm like,
it's so bad.
He's like,
we needed it.
Knife,
It was
knife,
necessary.
knife.
Literally just
it's
knife.
so funny.
Knife.
It's
A cleaver, obviously, because he's a butcher. There you go.
And then an apron of mithril, apparently.
Whoop-de-doo.
So,
What the actual fuck?
Oh, Maya gets on the train.
yeah.
Because the cop says that Jurgis is on it. She's trying to save Jurgis still.
Yes, because Jurgis got snatched.
Yep, he's been snatched.
His soul.
And so she gets on the train, and basically, Bradley Cooper realizes she's on the train, and he's like, I gotta go save her. Essentially. He's like, I gotta go save this bitch.
Gotta save the princess.
He's like, no! It's like very dramatic when he realizes
She's like slow
on
motion
it.
going
Yeah.
between like carts.
Yeah, and he's like, no! She's on the train.
Oh my god.
Doesn't he like throw a cleaver at her? Just like, yeah.
Bradley?
No, Butcher at
I was like,
Leslie
no.
He did.
She shoots and misses.
Yes,
and I think
she
he, like,
is
who throws a shoe? Honestly.
honestly. But girl, so she sees all these bodies hang up, and one of them is Jargus, and she's like, "I'm gonna get you down," and like tries to lift him up, but
And
like,
he immediately.
and then the hook goes like
Immediately.
even deeper.
He's like, it's so bad. And she's
Ugh.
like, oh my god.
Texas Chainsaw Remake 2003. That also happened, and you know how graphic that fucking movie is, and it's all practical effects. It's the guy who's already got one of his legs cut off and has already had it salted.
Oh my god.
It's I fucking can't remember the actress's name, and she like lifts her friend up partially and then just like drops him back onto the hook. It is fucking brutal.
Ugh.
I hate that remake. I like it as a movie. I hate it as a remake of one of my favorites.
right.
But anyway, I did think that there was some cool shots in the fight scene. That they have. They have a little knife fight.
Maya gets hit with a leg.
I thought it was an arm.
Oh, I think there's an arm and a leg. Like multiple. There's multiple limbs.
He
being
cut
used
someone's
as
arm off and
weapons.
threw it at her.
Yes.
Somebody make me a compilation of people in horror movies being
Getting hit
beat
with
limbs.
detached limbs.
Yes.
I love that.
Fucking Barbarian.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I need this
Oh
in my
my
life.
god.
Even something like in the Freddy vs. Jason when the kid uses his dad's head to shield himself from, like, just things like that. That's what I need in my life.
Or just like detached limbs in general, because I mean it's obviously the It remake. It's iconic when he's waving Georgie's
It's
arm.
so good.
So Leon knocks Mahogany onto the tracks, and I thought, okay, he's dead.
gone. Yeah,
That's how
he's
you
a
die.
goner.
That's you're smushed. You're
And the train
smoosh.
comes to a stop, and all the
Yes.
fucking lights go out.
I was like,
And then
he has to be dead.
Mahogany walks up and says, "Please step away from the meat. Step away from
You mean the conductor?
meat." Oh, the conductor does say it. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And then,
Someone
we
gets
get.
a skull thrown at them. I literally wrote down throws a skull at him. Who throws a skull at
I'm
who?
pretty sure
Does Mahogany throw a skull?
Leon throws
at
a
Leon,
skull-
or is it Leon?
Leon
at
throws a skull at Mahogany. He
Mahogany?
catches it and then
Yes,
throws it back and
yes,
actually hits
You're
Leon.
right. I just wrote down someone gets a skull thrown at him. And
But
I was
also,
like, the
when
fuck?
Leon first got on the train, when he was trying to like save his, girlfriend, he hit him in the face with the arm. So the arm is getting thrown all over the
all
place.
over the place.
Hey Casey, why do you like this really bad movie? Well, someone throws a skull at someone else and he catches it and then he throws that skull back. That
And hits
do
him.
you need anything else?
It's
No? Okay. Brilliant.
This girl had a gun and shot at him in point blank range and missed.
Oh, so bad.
And then he
So
threw a
bad.
meat cleaver at her.
It's awesome.
Great. I love that. I'm in.
Oh my god.
So this is where we get the...
This is okay. Remember how earlier in this podcast I said you can't guess how this ends.
Mhm.
We're at that part.
It's
And,
that time.
If you it's like that Pokemon thing when it comes back from the commercial. Did you guess Chuds? If you did, you didn't. You were right. I bet you didn't guess Chuds.
These fucking creatures are just like... They also kind of remind me of like the creatures in The Descent.
Yes, which are basically cave
Yeah.
chuds.
Yeah.
I mean,
These are train chuds. Those are cave chuds.
Yeah, well, chuds kind of are. I mean, because they're
That's
underground
true.
in New York.
That's true.
So they're. I mean, they're literally like monster, cannibal, alien things.
It's really dark too, so it's kind of hard to see. Like
Mutant.
you don't get like a super good look at them.
Yes, but if
you
you're
can just
thinking
kind of
chud-
see- yeah.
But they're just like
Basically
ripping the
it.
bodies off the hooks and eating them. Here's my complaint.
Oh.
From earlier, remember?
I was
yeah,
just
he
going to say
said
they ripped Leon's tongue out.
They do.
Well, the conductor does.
I know,
And then
but
he eats
still,
it.
it's just kinda
Which doesn't make sense to me because he's not one of the creatures. So why does he eat his tongue? Another thing that doesn't make sense.
In the
Anyways,
story, one of the creatures rips his tongue out, and then the creature eats it,
that would make way more sense.
which makes way more sense. But-
Yeah, the conductor, like, sir,
And
where
he
did
says,
you...
serve in silence, like not in the story. That's what they
Yeah.
tell him, and then they rip his tongue out.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a thing where I guess if you're like the person
Like, if he would have
you
cut
have
it
to be,
out, I
like,
would have understood
mute.
that. Because
Yeah.
how is this man so strong when he's a normal human being?
He's just gonna just reach in there and rip it out.
But
It's
anyways,
so slippery.
How much pressure does it take to rip a tongue?
Probably
out of-
not that much,
out of
but
the
like to get a
mouth?
grip on it, like it's wet.
It's slippery.
Yeah. Because it only takes like, what, like 10 pounds of pressure to rip your ear off or something like that?
okay, well, here's what
I'm so sorry.
I'm just a little
Snake.
snake.
If I don't say this before I forget,
Yes,
I'm going to be
I'm so
very
sorry.
upset.
She has a complaint.
So my whole thing is, why does he need to take the eyeballs out, the XYZ out, the fucking fingernails, all this? Those monsters look like they didn't give a shit what they were eating on that
It's
body.
true.
I think they would have been fine eating fingernails and eyeballs, especially eyeballs. They're mushy.
Yeah.
They ain't got no
Eyeballs seems like a
teeth.
delicacy.
I mean, like, why did they? Why?
Like he probably could have just thrown them out there like in a pile, and they
Or
would've
just
eaten
left
it,
them.
Like, however,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why if this wasn't a short story, I would be convinced that they just took the beginning of a movie and the end of a separate movie and mushed them together. Because that's what this feels like.
For
But
sure.
it's not. It's a Clive Barker. What the fuck, dude? I mean, you know, Stephen King has written some shitty things. I'm not gonna... Everybody has moments.
Everybody has those days.
Everybody gets that way. Sometimes I'm in a jam. I wanna make a plan. It might be crazy. I do it anyway. No way to know for sure. I'll figure out the cure.
You never watched No Montana?
Things aren't going too well.
Yeah.
Why be so hard on myself? Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it again and again till I get it right. They didn't get this movie right.
Sorry, I jumped on the Miley train after Katy Montana. I just never watched it.
We've been stans. We've been in for the long run.
My mom watched it. She really loved the Disney Channel when I was growing
So
up.
good.
I really loved that
I
show.
love Disney.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I was a Nickelodeon girl.
I liked both. I watched a lot of TV.
Why not both? Yeah, for real.
Jorge Solistos.
Yeah.
So who gets their heart ripped out?
Maya.
Maya. Because Mahogany comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote Mahoney for some reason.
Mahoney.
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 I like Mahoney too.
I'd call him Mahoney
Mahoney.
because he's Mahoney.
Mahoney. Hey.
I feel judged.
I was into it. I was
He's-
fine.
Like that. He's a piece of shit.
Hey. It's not his fault. Clearly, he was forced into this. I mean, look what happened to Bradley Cooper. He was probably just some
He just used
investigator
this,
guy
Yeah.
who got his tongue ripped out, and then all of a sudden, oh look, you're feeding chuds.
Who knows? We'll never know.
Maybe he had a really hot Leslie Bibb-esque girlfriend.
Or maybe a really hot Bradley Cooper-esque boyfriend.
Yes,
That'd be even better, right?
Even better.
But he's still alive. This is when they get in their epic fight of the skull throwing and things, and they realize Bradley Cooper realizes that guy has the symbol on his chest too. The conductor the conductor rips Maya's heart open,
Yeah.
or like cuts her open and rips her heart out.
Yeah.
Heart out. She's like the offering, I think. Because there's like a pile of bodies, and then they like put her on top of the pile of bodies, and then rip her heart out as like the
Here you go.
offering. Or
Like,
This
at
is
the end
this
of-
is
yeah.
the hors d'oeuvre.
It's like the end of
Exactly,
It,
yeah.
when they rip his little beaten heart out, and then they just... That is not how the book ends.
Well, Leon stabbed Mahogany in the throat after an epic battle, and that's when the conductor's like,
Hey, you're the new butcher.
Yep.
He doesn't say that, but that's implied.
It's you now.
It's you. You are death. I am become death.
And he's like, this is what you must do to keep the world separate. So, to keep these chuds underground, you
Where
must
they belong.
you must feed them.
Feed the chud, or they destroy the world.
The whole world.
The whole world. And then it ends with a dramatic gopher turnaround. Because he just...
It's so good. It's cool though because it does like show that the first kill that you see is everybody has to do their own. Oh shit.
Okay, hold on. Are we doing it at the same time?
Yes, hold
Yes.
it. 1, 2, 3. If you don't watch the podcast, if you only listen, you're missing out, man. So that's literally how it ends. But anyway, what were you saying?
It's his. The beginning kill is him at the end. Like that's it wraps it around. So he like puts the stuff on and then he's like okay and he goes out to kill and that's the kill that we see in the beginning of the movie. And then he stops and does his
that's really cool.
little
It's
turn.
like
so it like connects it. They try.
It's
they
like
put
your-
some effort.
Your
like,
cold open is your ending. It's like a
basically.
3 weeks earlier, you know, kind of thing.
and then we
Which,
get that dramatic look to camera.
I love
And
it. I love a
roll
good dramatic
credits.
look to camera. And that one was, again, reeks of 2008. And that is the end of The Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is a movie that I had never
I'm so sorry.
that I had never heard of, and now I love. I can't wait to
It made
make
me
Jeff
want
watch
to drink.
it.
Made me want to drink.
Do you think he'll like it?
No, he's gonna hate it.
Absolutely.
But guess what? He's not gonna guess
That's fine.
chuds.
It's fine. He won't guess. You need to make him like put in a couple guesses.
Right. Like, what do you think it is? Not that.
Not that.
So, go watch it. You can rent it on Prime. Like, honestly,
It was $3.
If you have Paramount Plus, it's on there. That's how I watched it.
Yeah, there you go.
go watch it. Like,
Yeah.
It's an hour 40, something like that. Like, it's super short. Bradley Cooper. I mean, it... Katy and I have already said, if for some reason we ever met Bradley Cooper, this would be the movie I'd ask him about.
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh my god, not
Yeah.
even close.
So do you remember
Like-
Midnight Meat Train? Because I remember Midnight Meat Train.
He's probably like, I tried to forget.
It's like the Jennifer Aniston with Leprechaun. She just won't even acknowledge it.
She's like,
He's like, I don't know that movie.
I don't think that was me.
That doesn't look like me.
I don't know.
I don't know her. I don't know her. So
I had a lobotomy since then.
I am so glad that this movie exists, and I'm so glad that you showed it to me. And we are so glad that you got to come back as a guest.
gosh, of
Yes.
We are going to have her again in the future, sometime after Found Footage Fall, because we're going to make Jess watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so
Do
excited.
you want me to wait so we can all watch it together?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna watch it.
Yes, please.
We should all get
I will wait.
like, drink and watch it. It's so
It's so
fucking
funny.
good.
And it's gonna be after October, so.
And I have a Bodies, Bodies, Bodies t-shirt
It's
that I will
really cute.
absolutely be wearing.
Insane.
Yes. So it's going to be great. But after this week will be the start of our Found Footage Fall. Jess has put together a schedule, and it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to watch a bunch of found footage movies. We're going to do good, bad, ugly, awful,
I'm still trying to put them in the order that I want them. It's so hard.
That's okay. You go 1 week at a time, babe. That's what I had
Yeah.
to do with Stephen King.
So we're not even gonna announce what movie's next.
Nope.
We're just gonna fucking wing it.
It's fine. If we know a few days ahead of time, I'll try to announce on Twitter.
Oh yeah, or on
But,
social. Yep.
But something we didn't say at the beginning, I'm sure you all have noticed our podcast set looks quite different, and it will look a little different when there's just the two of us.
Andrew, you gave us this. We put it up so you can see it.
And again, you'll be able to see that stuff over on this shelf a little better when we've moved over, when we don't have a guest, of course. I have so much cool stuff on all these shelves, and I wanted to put some more stuff up on the walls. A lot of the stuff I've gotten at Horror Hound, honestly. And then just little things that I've gotten from like Jess, from Etsy. A friend a few years ago gave me this Jason mask. If you can see it over here, it's signed by the very first Jason, Ari Lehman. So it's just stuff I want to show off. And we thought it'd be cool for you guys to look at. We hope you all like it and enjoy it. Comment your favorite thing you see on the set. And if it's the Barbie Ouija board, I agree.
Me too.
So, but yeah, Found Footage Fall, if y'all have any suggestions, keep sending them in. Seriously, we'll watch them ahead of time. We'll put them on the schedule if they're good enough or bad enough.
I'll be the judge of that.
She is 100% in charge of this. She just tells me the movie to watch. I just get to show up.
It's going to be great.
Yes. And in the meantime, make sure that you follow and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Barely Living Dreadful. Or sorry, TikTok and Instagram at Barely Living Dreadful. On Twitter at Living Dreadful. Make sure you email us at barelylivingdreadful@gmail.com if you have any comments, questions, concerns, requests. And until next time,
Stay spooky. Bye.